Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now, today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create wealth. Wealth in your family, wealth in your community, wealth in your race, and wealth in your nationality. Now, you got to understand that the bottom line for every business, every organization, every concern is sales. You got to sell to excel. Without selling, you can't excel. There is no organization that is not involved in sales. It's not possible. Every organization is involved in sales. So if you're working in a bank, you're involved in sales. It doesn't matter if you are not directly involved in sales. The whole purpose of that bank is to sell financial services. If you're working for a government, you're involved in sales. You're selling civil services. The whole purpose of a religious organization, say a church or a mosque or a synagogue, is that you're selling religion. If you're working for an airline, you're selling travel. At the bottom line, every business, every concern, every organization, every group of people must be engaged in selling, otherwise the business will collapse. If a government is not engaged in civil service, that government will collapse. If a bank is not engaged in selling financial services, that bank will collapse. If a church or a mosque is not engaged in selling religion, their membership will dry, their membership will dry up, and then the church or the mosque will just have to close down. And we're seeing that all over Europe and America. So we have to understand that the bottom line for every organization is selling. Now, once you understand that, you begin to see that if you want to get wealthy, you have to sell. Now, as an individual, you buy things every day. You buy things every day. It might be food, it might be water, it might be data services, it might be insurance, it might be, just think about any number of things, clothes, whatever it is, you're buying services. So you belong in a family. You are a part of a family unit. So you got siblings, you got brothers and sisters. You also have cousins. What you guys have to do is to come together, band together. Now, even if you all have jobs, make it a side business. Just apportion to each other, apportion to yourself. Say, okay, now we're a family. If we want to become wealthy, our money must circulate within our family. Because every time your money goes outside your family, you're making somebody else rich. You're making another family, another society, another community, another country, another race rich. So get together and then say to yourself, okay, we're going to apportion, some of the things that we buy. Now, we buy food. So you, maybe family member A, you have to sell food. So go and get food from wherever people are getting food from, farms, like maybe go to Costco for, wholesale, or go to a farmer's market, but get food. And then all of us, all family members, we're only going to buy from you. And then you, family member B, we all use data services, but we're buying from this vendor. Now, it's your job, it's your responsibility to gather data services, and then we're all going to buy from you. And then we all travel. We all travel regularly. Before, we used to go to this travel company. So now we're asking you, go and register a company, a travel company, just a business, a venture, and we'll only buy our tickets from you. It doesn't matter if your tickets are, or your food, or your data, or your insurance, or whatever you apportion to another family member is going to be slightly more expensive, and then slightly less, of a better service than what you get outside. We're going to buy from you. So the thing is, if you now buy from each other, you are going to make each other wealthy. Your money is going to be circulating with each other. So it doesn't matter. You can all have jobs. You can do it as a side business or a full business. It doesn't matter. So you patronize each other. Now, the money is not going to make you guys wealthy overnight. So it's going to take some time, maybe about 6 months to a year, and then you're going to start seeing the money rolling in. So you're going to have money. And then your family is going to keep on getting wealthy. So you have your main jobs, and then you have that as a side job. So you never go out of your family unit to buy something that somebody in the family unit is selling. So if there's a doctor, all of you in that family, you go to that doctor, only that doctor. Except that doctor, you have a sickness or an illness or a situation that that doctor does not have expertise for, then he will now, nominate another doctor that you can go to. So that doctor maybe can share in some of the profits with him. So if you do this, the family is going to get wealthy. Now, you might ask, okay, maybe I don't have enough money to set up, like maybe to register a business. That's okay. What you can do as a family is that this, you can say, okay, every month, each member of the family is going to put in, so maybe there are 20 of you, is going to put in $100 into a pool. And then every month, that $100 that we all gather, so if there's 20 of you and you put in $100, that's $2,000. That $2,000 will go to one family member. And then the next month you do the same thing, that money goes to another family member. So in 20 months, each of you has $2,000 from the family, and then you can use that as seed money, capital money to set up your side business. That's how you grow wealthy, by keeping your money in the family. The money keeps on circulating in the family, making you guys wealthy. Now, when I was in school, I found out, and this was in England, Nigerians, they have tribal associations in England and also in Nigeria. They call them parapo, parapo. So, for instance, I'm Ishekiri. If you're not Nigerian, you won't know what that is. But we had parapo in England, and then they looked for me. They looked for me. When I was in law school, they had their parapo, and then they looked for me. And as a matter of fact, I became the president of, it's called National Association of Ishekiri Students, NAIS. And so when you have organizations like that, so even if you're not Nigerian, I went to Ghana and I went to Tanzania, I went to Kenya. As some of you know, I've traveled all around Africa. There's nowhere I haven't been. And I was surprised that they have these groups also in each of these countries. And then I went to the Caribbean, and I found out that they also had Association of Caribbean Students, Association of Trinidadian Students. So what you can do is that these organizations are cultural organizations. Don't just let them remain cultural. You're wasting your organization. Now make it become a cultural and economic organization. So it becomes socio-economic. And then you do the same thing I've just talked about here. You arrange yourselves into subgroups of things that are necessary, vital to the community, to your parapo, to your cultural organization. So you say, okay, now this individual, you sell food, or this number of individuals, because with a cultural organization, there's likely to be more of you. You sell food, and then you guys, you're going to sell data, and you guys, you're going to just apportion some of the things that you guys need on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to different community members, different members of a parapo. And there you have a bylaw. Nobody is allowed to go outside to get anything. You have to purchase what you need from the parapo. It doesn't matter if other people sell it, cheaper, or if other people provide a better service. Just circulate your money within your parapo, within your tribal group, within your society group, within your community group, and you're going to enrich each other. You're going to get wealthier and wealthier. And then as you get wealthier and wealthier, then the services that are being provided will improve. And then, that's it. Some of you might say, okay, I don't like my cousin, I don't like my brother, or I don't like this member of my community organization. It doesn't matter if you do not like each other. You've got to learn to work with people that you don't like. I'm going to say that you've got to learn to work with people that you don't like. Now, we've talked about family, we've talked about parapo. Now, even in a community, in a country, you can arrange that in a country. See, countries are poor. Recently I saw African leaders, they went to Russia, and then they were kowtowing to President Putin, and they were being put in cars, and their egos were inflated. They gave them limousines, and then they went there. At the end of the day, they left without a grain deal, they left without a peace deal. And it's just the stupidity of African leaders. Listen, Africa is not going to get wealthy by going to meet European leaders like Putin or Macron or Rishi Sunak, or others, or going to America to meet Biden and Trump before him. That's not how we're going to get rich. If Africa wants to get rich, we have to make use of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. That was the subject of my first TED Talk. Each and every African country must buy from each other. That's how we're going to be wealthy. Black people buying from other black people. And then we incorporate black people in the Americas. We incorporate black people in the Caribbean. And then instead of, because black people are the most likely not to like each other. We have to get over that and then arrange ourselves as a group. Nigeria has cars. Jamaica is now buying cars from Nigeria, which is a good thing. Jamaica is now buying innocent vehicle motors. I went to Jamaica and I saw it myself. And it's a good thing, but we got to go beyond that. So we got to make sure that in all of these Caribbean countries, I see that they're all, I went to each and every Caribbean country. None of them are using mobile network provided by their country. It's some white savior providing it. Now, Africans and African Americans have companies. In Nigeria, we got Glow. In America, they've got several that are owned by fully owned by black people. So Africans, I say, okay, each and every African or Caribbean country must use a data service provided by a black company. We must buy cars provided by a black owned business. We must buy food provided by a black owned business. And then this idea whereby you need a visa as an African to travel to another African country, and then an American or white American or somebody from Norway does not need a visa to travel to these countries. It's ridiculous. We are keeping ourselves from each other, and that's what's going to make us poor. That's why we keep on going to Europe, going to Putin, going to China, going to America to beg for money. Because money, it comes from circulating your wealth within your community. As long as our wealth is circulating outside our community, we are always going to be poor. Now, I hope you understand this. If you do not understand this, maybe you watched and you do not understand that, maybe I've not made myself clear. I'm going to demonstrate to you right now by a simple practice. I've just come from the gym and I did this practice at the gym. Watch this video that I did at the gym. It's going to help explain in a practical manner what I'm talking about. Right here represent your family, your community, your society, your races, your country's finances when you're not selling to each other. These ropes here, it represents that when you're not selling to each other. Now I'm going to show you what it feels like when you start selling to each other. Now watch this. I'll put this here. And that was you selling to each other. Thank you for watching.